Right, we're live. Let's go. Welcome to the new Arse Brothers preview show with myself, Jerome. Dan's going to be joining us in a bit, so we're going to get into the Fulham game, see what we can get onto that, see what we can do. It's a new one for me. I'm new at hosting, so please bear with me. I do cock up a lot probably at times, so it's just the way it is. Right, well, we'll get into it. We'll get into the preview. Let's go for it, Jerome. Arsenal v Fulham. You looking forward to it? You looking forward to the season?
I think we've got an exciting game ahead of us with the momentum we've had, the bounce, the energy with our team. So I feel that we should go into this game quite confident.
Yeah, I agree. It's a quite exciting season ahead. I think we've done quite well with a couple of signings. Some excitement for future prospects as well. But we'll get into that. We'll talk about the Fulham team. I think we'll get this out of the way. I think it's probably best to get the opposite team out of the way first because we can slag them up after them. We might as well sort that out. So we've got Scott Parker's Fulham team. He brought the promotion through playoffs. How do you think? Do you think they've done well so far to get this far?
They did do well. They did do well because they didn't necessarily always play the best. So he just ground out them wins, which, a lot of teams we forget and neglect. So he done really well. But it's if he can do it at this other level now. If he can keep them.
Yeah,
it's just whether he's...
They've done really well getting this far and winning that. Championship playoffs is always difficult to win. I think it can go either way from anyone. So
definitely.
Really well there. Who do you think their key players are going into this squad?
As much as they've... Well, Areola, I was just going to say, starting off, he signed for them. I think he's going to be... as much as... Correct.
I was reading up about it. I was doing my homework and I saw his name and I thought, Areola, isn't that the bit that yeah. I thought there might have been a spell thing online, and I thought, no, it can't be. So I checked it up on their website. It's there, Areola. Yeah,
exactly that.
So
yeah.
I think he signed for PSG, but I think it was only recently.
Correct.
So I don't think he's eligible.
Didn't play much. No. Well, no.
But yeah, I was looking at some of their key players who I think is going to probably cause a little bit of trouble. I'm not too sure on other players, to be fair. I know they've got a good couple of players in there, but these are the ones I've sort of picked out in what I think is probably going to be their key players throughout the season, possibly this game, and that's obviously Tom Kearney. He's played in the
agreed.
Before. He's done really well when he was back in the Championship with him, so I think it's his time to sort of maybe push it on for himself and his own career.
He's the key. He's key to their team, I noticed last season, though. He was quite a main cog for them. Kept things churning, opening up the play, breaking up. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't think it's their new signing this season. I think it was a signing last season, and that's not that. Surely, after leaving Brighton to go to Fulham, surely he's got a point to prove. Coming back up to the Premiership. He didn't do great, did he, when he was at Brighton? He wasn't what everyone thought he possibly would be when he came up with Brighton.
Correct.
He's never really hit the mark off. And then obviously Mitrovic, again, another one who's got Premier League experience, playing for Newcastle as well. I think he played for another team in the Premier League, didn't he? I'm not too sure.
Oh, wasn't it Fulham before?
It probably was Fulham. This is the problem, you see, when you do something like this and you sort of do your homework properly and think, oh, I'll wing it, it'll be fine, and you fuck it up. You're guaranteed to fuck it up, and this is where I fucked it up. So, but yeah, he's got his experience in the Premier League. He is quite a good on set plays as well. So,
yeah, I told you it was Fulham. It was Fulham. I don't know. I feel Mitrovic is past it. Nah, it's all right because I just remembered it. And I'll dig it out. Nah, well, I just feel, to be honest, their main threats are generally wings. What I've noticed, that's their main threats: wings, pinging in balls. So it's how much they can open up their play. I don't know. I don't see much other option because Mitrovic, I don't personally think, as much as we feel he's their main threat, I can't see him
I would say his main threat on set plays, which Arsenal.
Yeah.
He's quite a good header of the ball, and he's a bit of a bully in them type of areas, isn't he?
Yeah, he could cause a problem there.
I would have thought so. I'm just trying to think who you're thinking of, as in going for, of the wingers. I can't think of their other winger. Because obviously Knockout's going to be one of them.
Well, I don't know. So I was looking up earlier on, had a little clip on their views. That's Sessegnon. He's like a right back. Yeah. Yeah, well, it was his name. It was Sessegnon. I thought it was his brother. I was a bit confused. I was like, there's two Sessegnons there. It was a bit confusing. But he might have gone back.
Was it the Scum Down the Road?
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, the other one's disappeared, so I don't know what he's doing. But he looks good for them last season, so you never know. But he might be just registered as youth and brought up again.
This is very true. But I'm not really too sure what else we can say about that, other than obviously Scott Parker's done a really good job. They've got a new player who's the skin around the nipple, and obviously Terry back for him as well. Did he come back?
Terry is back. Yeah. Well, as far as it looks like, he is back. So yeah, but we all know football.
He looked really good because I can't remember what team he was at. He was in League One, wasn't he? France.
Yes.
He looked like quite a solid defensive mid, but yeah. And when he went to Fulham, he didn't really do a lot, did he?
But I think where we're learning, even sometimes you could do something abroad and you come to the Prem or the England and it's the culture. I think a lot of it changes. So, a couple of years, I think some people we really got to give them 2 seasons. I feel sorry for him trying to get his craft up again because he's got to get up in the Prem. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting if he can do it.
Yeah, because he's quite a solid defensive mid. I think we was linked with him before he went to Fulham, because obviously we're always defensive mids.
Who aren't we linked with?
For the last 10 years, so we've always been linked with something like that. So
yeah.
It looks like it's going to be a good game on that one. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to coming back to the Premier League anyway. Having a little bit of time off. I had a break from everything. It was nice. So it's nice to come back to it as well.
I must say I was itching. I was, we had international. I needed it. I needed real football. International wasn't the same. I needed us Prem back. I needed Arsenal. I needed Arsenal.
This is it. Yeah, I'm ready to come back, and I'm looking forward to it. So, right, we might as well get into the Arsenal team. What do you think? We'll get into it first of all. We'll go straight in. What do you think to the new signings so far? Are you looking forward to seeing some of them?
For me, I'm deadly excited for the first time in the last few years. Not only we've got exciting but exciting players in the positions we've kind of feel like we need somebody to help out. For me, Willian, top signing. Anyone who doesn't think that, free signing. Chelsea's best player last year, willing to make the jump to a team that's technically finished lower, not in Champions League. Shows me that the progress of what we're doing, what Mikel's able to do. I also look at Gabriel Mahrez. I don't know. I watched him last year. Yeah, and I watched him last year. I watch back the highlights still now, and I think, did we really sign him? Am I dreaming?
This is the thing I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing the new players, as in Gabriel and Saliba. Just because I think we've been calling for it for so long in Arsenal, for 2 big motherfuckers in centre back. These guys are big guys. They're 6'4",
yes,
6'4". We've been calling for this. We really have been calling this for a long, long time. We've had too many weaklings after Sol Campbell. In Koscielny. We had another Gabriel who was terrible.
Yeah. I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've had some terrible defenders over the years after Sol Campbell. Now I'm looking forward to getting to this point.
Yes. I also think it goes under the radar, though. I'll tell you what goes under the radar. Kieran Tierney.
Oh, yeah.
Kieran Tierney.
Last season, I think.
should be 50 million. Let's be honest. He's better than Robertson. He's, if anyone wants him now, you better be pulling out 60, 70 million, to even talk to him.
If not more.
Exactly. He's kind of shown us what we've been missing on the flanks. And unfortunately, we talk about Bellerin getting back to form. But unfortunately, Bellerin's got to hurry his form because Tierney's doing such a good job. It makes the other side look bad. In a team when one side's doing well, you go, hey, what's going on the other side? Hey, why can't you do what he's doing?
Yeah, this is it. And I think, obviously, with Maitland-Niles now deciding wanting to play at fullback.
Yes.
I think that makes it a lot more difficult for Bellerin. He's got to really step up his game. And I think we mentioned this before on probably chat and other podcasts and stuff about Bellerin. So it's a case of, obviously, he's got to step up or step out. That's the way I see it for me. For him now. That's the way it's got to be.
Do you not feel that now is the moment, just like a few of these other players, unfortunately, that we have to give them this season before we say step out?
Yeah, maybe so. But again, this is what I was saying.
A few of them. I'm not saying a lot of them. Not a lot of them, but some of them.
But yeah, other new signings as well. You spoke about Williams, so it is quite an exciting one to go. With does that potentially move Pepe into the middle?
Yes. I do think when it comes to Willian, not only that though, we now have an addition where he can now go left, and Aubameyang goes up top when Lacazette comes off. You've got a rotation of different formation as well.
Yeah,
Willian is very good as we know going forward, but he is also very good defensively. So if we had to switch, all of a sudden different position, different formation, it would work. I feel he adds that dynamic as well.
Yeah, we've got 4 forwards now, really. Well, 5 including Nketiah. So, and then when Martinelli comes back from injury, we've got loads of options up front. Right, I'm going to stop you quick there, mate, because we have been finally joined by Dan. He's finally finished his own podcast and he's gratefully joined us.
Hello, boys. How you doing?
Thank you.
Good evening.
Mate, great to see you both. Jerome, long time, bro. How you doing?
How you doing, man? I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Scunny, how you doing, bro?
I'm all right, mate. How are you doing? You finished your podcast then?
Yeah, mate. We just done the same old Arsenal preview about Fulham, and then I said, you know what? Let's jump on this one and have a chat because I hosted that one, so it's nice to have a proper chat about it, man. So I don't know what you've been saying because I'm a bit late, but it's a pleasure to be on, man.
Yeah, well, we'll get your thoughts on. We spoke about Fulham. We didn't go into too much detail. We just sort of spoke about how well Scott Parker's done bringing them up through promotion through playoffs. How do you think it's doing for that?
Your audio is pretty quiet there, Scunny, mate. I could only break up. You're breaking up a little bit for me, mate. Go again with that one.
Right. How's that?
That's better. I can hear you now.
I apologize for that. I don't know what I've done. Like I said, it's my first time hosting, so I knew I'd fuck it up. I told Jerome at the start.
That's all good, man.
I've already done something wrong. And then now I'm doing this.
Learning curves.
This is it, learning curves. Shit, I'm going to get sacked before I even start. But yeah, so what I was saying is obviously, Scott Parker bringing them up through promotion through the playoffs. We were speaking about the championship playoffs are usually really hard. It's a tough competition. It's tough, small competition. So how do you think he's done for that?
Yeah, man, I'm a massive fan of Scott Parker, actually. And I spoke to a couple of Fulham fans who were questioning some of his tactics and the way that he's set up. But I give Fulham no chance coming up at the end of last season. And I looked at the way they were playing and thought he's just installed belief, which is essentially what Arteta did at the start of his Arsenal reign. And he gave a load of the dressing room a lift. And I think that's what Scott Parker did. And he kind of made the lads believe that they could go up into the Premier League, which I don't believe any of them thought they could. And one thing that's different about Scott Parker as opposed to Jokanovic when he was in the Premier League 2 seasons ago was the fact that it got to a stage where he just spent. And then he just totally disseminated the kind of team that got him there in the Premier League. And Scott Parker looks to not have done that. He's couple of additions from what we can see in the transfer window. I know the window's still open, of course, but nothing too extreme. And I think that they have got some players that can affect us. And Scott Parker has done a good job and they deserve to be in the Premier League as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, they could be an issue tomorrow. But Scott Parker is is an experienced football man. So I think that he is clearly the right man for Fulham to get that team into the Premier League. I've got a lot of time for him.
Yeah, I agree. And he's done well with Fulham Anti since it's all come through. And Jerome was saying pretty much the same thing as you were there, to be fair. So, and I was just talking about their key players as well. Obviously, I don't know their team very well. I don't really watch the Championship that often, as I don't see the point. I'm an Arsenal fan. Why would I watch the Championship? You know, it's even that. You know, I just can't be arsed half the time. So I was looking at their key players today. I had to do my homework, and we was talking about their new signing. I'm going to say it again. Is it Alphonse Areola? Now, Areola to me is the skin around your nipple. Jerome's laughing. We've already mentioned this joke. I'll bring it on to you. The Areola is that bit.
It is. You're right, mate.
Obviously, he can't play because he's only just come into the squad. He's their new number one goalkeeper. I think he only signed today or yesterday. But they have actually got all the couple of players that they've got. And we mentioned Mitrovic, Knockaert, Kearney. And we mentioned Seri as well because I wasn't sure if he was back in the squad or not. So, you know, they're the key players I sort of pointed out. There probably is better ones, to be fair, but like I say, I don't do my homework. I'm stupid.
No, you've hit the nail on the head. Tom Kearney's passing is like 90%. It's that good. Tom Kearney pulls the strings from in midfield. They've got Harrison Reed on loan from Southampton, who has got a lot to prove. You know, he's had a couple of seasons on loan in different Championship sides, and I think he'll come into this side now and prove that they were wrong for getting rid of him type attitude. The other one you've mentioned is from that lot down the road who was been signed from him, which is Josh Onoma. And he's been a good player for him. You know, Mitrovic got 26 goals last season, so he's their main man. Knockaert, I keep talking to Fulham fans who are saying they don't think he's going to play tomorrow because they've got some players that are better than him on the wings now. So I'm not so sure. Well, I had him in. No, I had him in. I did my prediction for Fulham's team and I put him in and I was laughed at. They said, no, he won't get in the side. It will be either Cavallero, who's the guy I think from Wolves at one stage, who's gone to Fulham. And Kamara on the other wing.
That's what I was trying to think of. Jerome. Because there's that other guy in the wing. I can't remember his name. It's that Kamara.
Yeah. So they were talking about perhaps those two being on the wings instead. But listen, none of us can predict this team, Scunny. Do you know what I mean? Fulham, we can't predict. We can't predict the Arsenal side at the moment. You know, so many options with that. So it's going to be a matter of who's fit, who's not quarantined, who's been training, who hasn't. It's crazy. Big Steve's put in the comments about Bobby Reid. Bobby Reid is another player that has been given a nod and people are talking about. So, yeah.
You see, we should have got Steve on for this podcast. You know, he watches a lot of the Championship. I do believe I remember him saying. Yeah. I think he does watch a lot of Championship. So, yeah, I probably should have brought him on. He probably would have taken over, to be fair. I'd have had to kick him off just because he'd have putting me to shame. So, yeah, it's, and then, the old Fergus.
Fergus is here.
But yeah, and this is pretty where we got up to with Fulham. We didn't really mention too much else because we weren't too sure. Again, with it being a new team back into the Premier League, you know, I think it's been 3-4 years since it was in the Premier League, something like that. So we don't really know too much about him, especially me. I don't watch the Championship. So what can we say? What can we do? But anyway, I was going on to the Arsenal team, and I was just before you come on, mate, was talking about the new signings. What do you think of your new signings? How do you feel about them?
Well, I'm impressed so far. I mean, I know that I was talking to Manny about this. We were going on about it in stages, and we were saying the first stage is going to be about literally getting the signings in that we could get in. And one of them was Willian. The other one was obviously Saliba, who's come in now and can play, and we can actually finally select. And of course, Gabriel looks like he could get over the line, although it seemed to take about 6 years, but we've got him in the end. So for me, the first
stage, any Arsenal signing, to be fair, it's a bit like a new contract signing as well.
Do you remember our Sharvin, how long that one took? Like the windows shut and we still hadn't had him, and we was like, no panic type thing. But that's what it's like with Arsenal. So that was the first stage. The second stage, which is what we're kind of half going through now, is we need to try and get rid of some of these players. And we're struggling to do that because nobody wants them. And this is the issue we've got. And the third stage will be, the part of that stage as well is getting Aubameyang signed, which I was told was going to be announced today, Fergus, and it still hasn't. Anyway.
Yeah, you see, this is the thing. I was on my Facebook and we were on Arsenal Fans Forum and Fergus put on a thing. He's signed and put loads of pictures of Aubameyang. So I was like, all right, he signed us. I didn't even bother looking at Sky Sports if he signed. I thought, he knows everything just about. He's like the Arsenal messiah, and the prophet. He seems to know everything. And
he does.
and he
He
even
is
signed
good.
it. So
he's reliable, but I know
I'm
it's worrying. But
questioning
no, I think it is done. It's just not been announced yet. I trust in Fergus. He ain't
We
been wrong
don't have
yet.
to
So
worry.
that's all good.
I think when you listen to what Mikel's been saying, the way he's so comfortable and calm about it, and he doesn't speak about much else that happens behind closed doors,
I agree.
I'm relaxed. I'm kind of relaxed
Yeah,
about
agree,
that.
That's the Arsenal way, though. They never speak anything about it behind closed doors, do they?
No, they don't, mate. They don't.
No, but
listen, and the
Will
third
we have
stage.
it any other way?
No, absolutely. The third stage for me will be getting Thomas Partey and Hosam Aouar in, and that will be our transfer business. And if we can get these two players over the line, I think we have a great shot.
Rolling his eyes
top four.
Thomas Partey.
I was
thinking, yeah.
Mate, I was like, maybe.
For me, the problem is I see it as this: the way we've been doing business over the past few, without us making at least 2 or 3 transfers, I don't see us getting both. So I look at which one do we. For me, Partey is the most essential.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do anything, that's the business we need to be doing, no matter what. Now, obviously, we can sell 3 or 4 players, and it works great. But then we've got players like Socrates asking to leave for free right now.
Yeah, it's tough, man. This is what I mean. It's going to be a play. It's really, really, really tough with the kind of outgoings, because this is tough to get rid of these players because they're ridiculous wages, and I think that is going to be a real difficult thing. Nothing happening with Partey or Aurora. He can't even say his name. No. Who's Aurora? Aurora. Yeah, I think Partey, I think, will happen. I think it will. And I've got confidence that Hosam Aouar will happen as well, because I think that they are the two that we've been linked with from day dot. It's not like this is a Coutinho thing that just disappears. We've been linked with these two players since day dot, and Partey since last year. So I think it's clear that we are heavily linked with these two players. But to answer your question, I'm happy so far. If it carries on Luis way, I'm all good. I think Saliba and Gabriel are going to bring some great attributes to the defensive stability of the side, and I also think it's really vital that we kept hold of Dani Ceballos, because I think that our kind of middleman is going to be a little genius in there.
So good, wasn't he? In the
he's so good in Project Restart. So good. Yeah. And of course, Willian as well. I think it's an all right signing. A lot of people are talking about him being washed up and he's another Czech or Luis or Lichtsteiner. I don't see it like that, because he's still performing for Chelsea. So I would say personally, Willian will be I think he's created more for Chelsea than any of our players did. I think it was treble the amount of chances he created. I think Pepe was our most creator, and it was hardly anything. So for me, Willian is an all right signing. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with it, Scunny. I'm happy.
Well, that's good. That's good. And yeah, we were saying pretty much the same. We didn't go obviously as far as much into Willian. We was talking about having some nice big centre backs. Big 6'3", 6'5", badasses. So it's going to be nice to see them develop through Arsenal. Hopefully their ceiling won't stop with us. And we'll see how it goes. As I was going about it as well, we have got some injuries, mostly defensive injuries. I'm looking at my sheet here because I did write them down because I'd forget. We've got injuries to Luis, Mari, Chambers, Socrates, Z-German. They're the defensive injuries, and then we've also got Smith Rowe and Martinelli. As far as I'm aware, Fulham haven't got any injuries, so we have got some main injuries there, haven't we? Really, to be fair, with Luis, he would probably be staying in the starting squad. Other than that, not really. I wouldn't have thought any of the others probably would have got into the first team tomorrow. So other than Luis, so we're not missing too much then.
Nope.
Possibly Z-German, Mustafi, but yeah, other than that, no, I'm not too sure. Do you think we'll miss Luis tomorrow?
No.
Dan?
I think that.
Go on, Jerome. Sorry, mate. I thought you'd finished.
I just think, you know what it is? I feel that what Mikel's instilled is not just pivotal with David Luiz, and we're going into a new season against a new team. So if he's not there, does it change anything? It doesn't at the moment. It's an open sheet, and I have got probably a bit more. I shouldn't, but I probably have a bit more confidence in the two centre backs to come in, even if we're playing a back three, back five, to play alongside Holding. I've got a little bit of confidence with us. I don't know. I just have a real good feeling about those two centre backs.
That's fair enough. Fair enough, Dan.
See, I do, but I don't think both of those centre backs are going to play tomorrow. I've got a feeling Gabriel might just not be ready to start. I think Saliba, Holding, and Tierney will be the back three. That's what I've gone for. I've gone for Saliba, Tierney, and Holding, and then I think it will be Bellerin and Maitland-Niles. I would go with Maitland-Niles and Saka, but personally, I think that's what he's going to stick with because of the Community Shield and FA Cup final. It worked, and I think that Maitland-Niles at left back worked there. I think he'll continue that with Bellerin on the right. But listen, if Gabriel's fit, get him in. I want to see him, and I've got a lot of time for this lad. We've got, as Jerome said, we've got defenders now that are 6'3" and 6'4". We've no longer got these Socrates at 5'10" and Mustafi at 5'11", whatever the hell they are. We've got players.
5'11", I thought he was like 5'5".
Whatever he is, he plays like he's 5'5". But yeah, I don't know. It needs to happen.
They actually look like ball players.
Yeah,
we've actually watched the team over the past few months playing out from the back. As much as they've done it really well, we've been nervous because we know that they're not comfortable. But we've actually got some centre backs who look like they want to have the ball and run with it and play with it. We've needed
that's true.
that. Need confidence from the back, and I feel that like Dan said, we've got that. They might not both start, which I'll be really gutted. But if I see one, I'm happy.
Yeah, well, Fergus said what I was just about to say. Gabriel, I don't know if he's still on quarantine.
I'm not too sure. He's been training.
Yeah, you can train because you're in a bubble, but I don't know if you can play on the pitch yet. And
bubble
I'm not
with 20 other players.
I don't get it, man.
I can't see my mum.
Right, we're not getting into this bubble, COVID, and whatever else. I'm not going down that route. We'll be here forever. This is a whole different story, and I really can't be arsed with it. Get on, back on your run, mate. Back on your run. But no, I don't know. I'd like to see the new lads play. I really would. I'm looking forward to seeing them play. But I don't know. Is the first game of the season ready for them both to play? If Gabriel is okay to play, that's one thing I'm not entirely sure. I personally would like to see some experience in there. I'd rather have Louise in there than anyone else, just to give a bit more security. He knows how the Premier League works. He's been here for so long. All right, he's not the best defender in the world. He's probably not the best defender we've got now anyway. Let's just say that. But it's I'd like to see that, a bit more stability. But we'll go into team lineup, seeing as though we'll go there. But we'll start with you've mentioned your defence already, and I agree. That's probably what the defence is going to be: Holding, Tierney, and probably Saliba. So I can see that being a back three. I can see us playing a back five altogether. But yeah, I can see that happening. But we'll go on to the keepers now. Who do we pick, Leno or Martinez? Seeing as all Fergus is in the chat,
Martinez.
I'm going Martinez. And as much as I've been a big advocate for Bernd Leno, and I feel that a lot of fans are forgetting how well he played under pressure, as much as we were in downer, everything else. I'm a big fan. I want them both to fight for the position. Martinez has earned that right now. I just feel that he's earned that. That's what it is.
You got a point there, mate. I agree. I can't see past Leno at the minute myself. I'm too big of a fan. As much as I reckon Martinez has done really well, but I'm just too big of a fan.
I'm with you, but it's a respect thing, Like,
he hasn't put a foot wrong, has he?
No, it's cool.
Well, Steve makes a good point here. Before you come in, Dan, Emmy could be out of the squad because if Brighton have gone in for a bid, then that rules him out of the squad completely.
Yeah, I heard this as well. That's why I think it'll be Leno. But I would play Martinez because I think he deserves it. He deserves to be the number one still at the moment because he hasn't done anything wrong. There is an argument that Leno hasn't done anything wrong either. It's a great position to be in. It's a great position. This is what we need to be all over the pitch. We should be fighting for positions. Unfortunately for me, it's a shame. I believe Martinez has gone to Villa. Fergus has just put it on there.
Yeah, the Oracle.
Yeah, the Fergus.
He loves an Oracle. He loves a good post.
The Fergus has spoken, and that's the deal. Apparently, he's gone to Villa and he's not in the squad, so it is going to be Leno. Matt Macy will have to come on as backup because Martin has gone.
Interrupt you quick before we go any further. If he has gone 17 million, do you think we've been undervalued there? He's
Yes.
undervalued at that team.
Yes.
We're always undervalued with our keepers. Our
Our
keepers always
players, mate.
undervalued.
Our players. Everyone's all bloody undervalued. Bellerin was off to PSG nearly for 25 million, if you believe everything you read. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
of course. No, but the only reason I say that is I look at Chesney. When I look at Chesney, was he only worth 10 mil, and we bought
Yeah.
Czech for
Yeah.
what, 11?
Same, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the only reason I say underpriced on keepers. I feel that we've always been shortchanged.
But in fairness to that, Czech did have a better CV.
Yeah.
Czech was yeah.
Even if he was getting on, he had a lot better CV.
If we do get rid of him, are we going to replace him with that Brentford keeper?
I've heard that that's meant to be, but who knows?
Who knows at the minute? Yeah, it's just all rumours, that one, in it, paper talk.
I can't believe anything. It's all rumours.
It's a shame he's going, Martinez. Shame he's going. But I get it. He wants to play first team football and he deserves to play it because he's a good enough goalkeeper and he's proven he is. So, but Leno is as well. You know, we're not missing out. It's not like we're losing our number one goalkeeper here because Leno is, in my opinion, the number one. So, yeah.
And Steve makes a good point because we did get Leno for under 30 million. I agree
that
with
was
him
a steal. Yeah.
But, you know, it's nice to get a steal for a change. Normally we overpay.
Yeah.
If we look at our previous record in paying for signings, we usually overpay. But yeah, we've talked about the defence, so we'll move straight on to the midfield. How do we think that's going to be? Do you think we're going to play a 5-2-3? If I've got that right.
Yeah, I think more than likely. That's what we've been playing at the moment, so I can't see it being changed.
Who do you reckon is going to be in the midfield?
Xhaka.
Yeah. Have we got many options?
Ceballos, maybe on any, because I don't know if Ceballos
is. I don't know if he went back to Spain or not.
No, he's fit apparently because he was in a something bubble, which meant that he could play. So honestly, it's unbelievable. But I think Ceballos and Xhaka will be the two. But Elneny will come in, obviously. And to be fair to Elneny, as much as I'm not a massive fan, he does keep the ball quite well, and he did a really good performance for me against Liverpool in the Community Shield. And him and Xhaka look good. But Danny Ceballos is the guy who'll get the nod, I think, if he's fit, and we'll go from there. As long as Mesut Ozil ain't in the squad, I'm happy, man. Jesus,
that was going to be my next one, with Ozil coming out and doing his usual trick on social media. You know, he's got his 10 pence in to a Tottenham fan or something, and everyone's gone wild.
Can't stand the guy, man. That's all he is. It's PR with him.
Every single Arsenal fan who loves Mesut Ozil have gone absolutely wild and creaming in the pants about him. Oh my God, he said this to a Tottenham fan. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, the guy's an absolute joke, man.
Everything's a PR stunt. Let's get this out of the way. Jerome, does he deserve to be in the squad?
I haven't seen nothing that deserves it. But then this is where, taking all bias aside, if he's not leaving and then Mikel sees something for him to be deserved in the squad, who are we to say he isn't?
Well, he was shut out last season.
Yeah, because he didn't give two shits. Fortnite was more interesting to him.
Yeah. Well, my 10-year-old son will probably say the same. So that shows you that done it at the age rate of bloody Fortnite.
Mentality of Ozil right there.
Not even Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, you know, I used to be a big fan of that back in the day. So, but now I'm 36, so I'm older than Ozil. Not much older than Ozil. And Call of Duty again. No, not a chance.
Quality.
Yeah. Dan, do you think he should be in the squad?
No way. I don't think Ozil will be in the squad for the rest of the season. He's not going to go anywhere. There's reports that Saudi Arabia and China and other player giving him offers, but he isn't going nowhere. He's staying at Arsenal to be our PR stunt, because that's all he is. He just goes on Instagram or Twitter and says how much he loves London and Arsenal and how much he hates Spurs. So all of his Ozil loving Arsenal fans can get excited about him. I'm done with him. I don't want to see him in the team. We haven't missed him. We created as much, if not more, without him. Get rid of the guy and just let him just rot in the reserves, as far as I'm concerned, and let him see out his contract for a year. I can't stand the guy.
Playing under 21s, yeah?
Yeah.
They even want him to play with them. They're probably thinking, no, we don't want this guy either. Fucking granddad playing with us who plays Fortnite. What's going on there? They're probably kicking his ass at Fortnite, these under 21 kids. So yeah, they're not going to want to know what to do with him. But yeah, anyway, we've gone a bit off topic there. So we agree. We agree that it's going to be probably Xhaka and Ceballos. You know, they had a good rapport, didn't they? They played well together in Project Restart. So I can't see that change. And I know Elneny played well in the Community Shield, but he's probably pushed himself to the bench, which is good in some opinion. You know, he's pushed himself forward. He's made himself known. So
I feel that, and then he just made himself more available. Even for what Mikel said, for me, it feels like he's waiting for someone to bid. He's just waiting for the offer for him to go. He said he's done really well. He said, I know what he's good at, and I know what he's not good at. But, you know, he's my player until at least October 6th.
Fair play. Right, let's get on to the front lot then. Who do we reckon? Dan, we'll go with you first, mate. Who do you reckon's going to be playing up front?
I've changed this so many times. Is it going to be Pepe? Is it going to be Willian? Is it going to be Saka? Is it going to be Nketiah? Is it going to be Laka? The one I've gone with, right? I've gone with Aubameyang left. I'm going to go with Willian. I think Willian's going to play right. And I think he's going to go with Lacazette just because of the way he came out today and said that Lacazette wants to stay. I think he'd be silly now if he said, yeah, Lacazette, I've had a great conversation with him, wants to stay. And then he drops him for Eddie Nketiah. That would be rather foolish. I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie, I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie plays because I know that he likes him and he rates him. But I just think because we didn't see Pepe against Liverpool, I think Willian will get the nod because there's so much hype about him and he's a new signing. And that's what I've gone for. But listen, it could be anything. We could be looking at Pepe centrally, Pepe left, Pepe right. Willian likewise could be either. Aubameyang could be through the middle. But if he had to put me on a spot, I'd go with that. I'd go with Willian right and Aubameyang left and Lacazette through the centre, I think.
Jerome, do you agree or do you disagree? What?
I feel that it's gonna happen. I feel that it will be Willian out on the right, and I feel that it will be Aubameyang out on the left. Now, I want it to be Lacazette. I really feel that, like Dan said, today's comments would make me feel that it's gonna be Lacazette. It needs to be. I forget any other reasons. It needs to be.
I think he's probably going to go with more. I personally myself, I think he'll probably go for more experience in the Premier League, especially with it being the first game back and the new season. So I definitely agree with you. Aubameyang's, that's obvious, isn't it? That's an obvious choice. You know, he's the captain of the club. He's obviously going to be in the team. And then you've obviously got Lacazette and probably Willian. I think it'll be a bit harsh to drop Pepe personally. You know, he did that. You know, he had a good run off towards the end of the season. Yeah, great.
I'd love to see him through the centre, man. I'd love to see him through the centre, Pepe. See him in the Chelsea FA Cup final.
It's formation for that, though, isn't it? Do you think maybe it's slightly change of formation? I don't think he's going to be a forward or the top end forward, shall I say. You know, he's not going to replace Lacazette or Nketiah. But, you know, I think maybe change of formation towards... You know,
we saw that, didn't we, in the Chelsea? Chelsea game, it was a kind of switch, and everyone was then Aubameyang come right for some of that, and then you saw Pepe go through centre on it. It was like dangerous. I mean, the Chelsea players, the defence had no idea, and I think for me, when I saw that Chelsea, the other game where he actually caused riot for Van Dijk and Robertson was Liverpool at Anfield through the centre with Aubameyang. I know he didn't score, but it looked so dangerous going through the middle. So I'd like to see Pepe central more. I think Fergus has put about it in there as well. I'd like to see it.
Yeah. Well, he said I'd love to try Pepe through the middle as well. I agree with this one as well. That Fergus has mentioned here. Our front line is so fluid. Like, it can talk, you know, his switch, everything else. It's a really good, and me and Jerome was mentioning it before you come on, Dan. It's just so good that to have these type of players that we can mix and match and do everything else, and bringing in Martinelli into that mix as well. I think it's exciting. It really is. And then Big Steve's put his in the a 3-4-1-2 formation. That could work. Formation. I think that's the sort of formation we used to play when Ozil was in the squad. You know, it was similar to when Emery. I think that's that type of formation he was playing. I do believe, but it didn't really work out because Emery was shit and Ozil shit. So, what can we do with that? Right. What do you reckon? Go on then. Let's have your predictions before we leave anyway, because we're just about to finish off for the night. Go on, Jerome. What's your prediction for the game?
3-0 Arsenal.
3-0 Arsenal. Dan, I think you're the same as me, aren't you?
I've gone for 2-0 to Arsenal because I think personally it's going to be all about taking our chances. If we want to win this game, we've got to defend well, first of all, but what we've got to do is take our chances. We saw against Brighton us pretty much dominate the game, didn't take our chances, and we lost 2-1. Who's to say that couldn't happen tomorrow? It could do. So we need to make sure we get off to the right start, and I've gone for a 2-0 victory to Arsenal tomorrow, and I'm being optimistic about it.
Yeah, this is true, and I say that me and Dan was the... Sorry, I've just spotted this. So I had to laugh.
Thank you very much, Mike Feinberg.
But I had to laugh at that. It completely caught me off guard, and it just popped up in my eye, and I thought, oh, here we go. He's got one. We have the pod whore, mate. We've got the pod whore. He's got to be on somewhere, hasn't he? So, yeah, I went, as I was saying, me and Dan are in a prediction league with a few other guys like Fergus and a couple other people, and we were saying that, I put myself down as Arsenal to win 2-0. So this is where I said where Dan probably the same as me. When I said he's going to be the same as me, he is the same as me. He's copying bastard. That's why. So yeah, it's. I think it's going to the same as what Dan says. We need to get off to a good start. And Fulham, I know they've only just come up, and I don't want to do them any disrespect, but they've just come up. We need to show that we can beat these teams that come up from the Championship. And like we said before, Brighton, last season, we lost 2-1. We can't do that again. We can't do that. We need to make a good charge at least top 5 this year for me, possibly pushing for top 4. So these teams we need to be beating. I can't see any other way around it.
I agree.
I think Mikel's doing something better. I believe that we will win this a bit more comfortably than we used to. We think of Arsenal of even the whole of last season. I feel there's a different ethos than Arsenal of last Premier League season. The belief, they look happier together. I'm telling you, I can only see it being a nice, comfortable win tomorrow.
Sorry, Jerome, I'm not laughing at you, mate. There's another one.
The football gerbil's back. The football gerbil is back. I thought there was a rest in peace for the football gerbil, but he's back.
He's back.
It's heard from a reliable source that the score will be 4-1, and that my dad wife will score as well. There's a story behind that. I don't know if you've got time, but there's a quick story behind that.
We've always got time for a story, man.
So this is a good friend of mine, Mike Feinberg, who is a top guy, and he's from the Gooners podcast, as you know. And we were watching a Zoom game. Watching an Arsenal game on Zoom. I think it was the Man City game right at the very start, which was a dreadful game. And we had a couple of Arsenal fans on, and there was 2 females that were absolutely smashed that we know that are Arsenal fans. They were hammered, right? And she got so drunk. And I was just watching there, sitting there with my dad at my house, and he'd come to mine to watch the game. And we're just sitting there watching Man City, a bit paid off, because we were playing rubbish, and Luiz had been sent off at this point, and we were dreadful. Anyway, it gets to the stage where they're just being really loud and drunken, even my parents were like, Jesus, they had a lot to drink, Anyway, she then comes on, lovely girl. She comes on and she says, oh, Dan, hi, how you doing, Dan? Oh, you've got your wife next to you as well in their Arsenal shirt. Oh, she's beautiful. What's her name? And I said, her name's Steve, and it's my dad. And it was just hilarious. Hilarious. Right, absolutely hilarious. Oh, mate, honestly, it was outstanding. Your wife is so lovely. And I just thought, you're kidding me, right?
I've met your dad, and he does. To be fair to him, he doesn't look like a woman. So that's a good one for me. That's a good one.
It was just hilarious, mate. It was just hilarious, and it got to the stage where it was just pure drunken comedy genius. You know what I mean? And I've not laughed so much in lockdown for a long time, man. It was absolutely hilarious. And even my dad was just like, you have got to have had a few to think that I'm a gorgeous looking girl.
I'd say the same, to be fair.
Oh, honestly. And you both met my dad.
I have met him, and he's not a good looking woman, let's face it.
What was it they were drinking? I need that recipe.
Your rum, mate, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it weren't your rum. It was definitely something much, much stronger. And that is strong enough.
Right. On that note, I think we'll finish it there because that was quite a good way to end it. Before we go, I'm just going to say, we're new to this YouTube now. This is a brand new podcast. I'm going to put this on here. Click the like button if you liked it, or don't. I don't really give a fuck. And there's also hit the subscribe button. That'd be nice, We are good. But it's not just this preview show on Arse Bros. There is some more shows coming. You've got the monthly show that Max, Toby, and myself and Manny and Ryan normally do, who's now on Same Old Arsenal USA. So he's part of your crew now, isn't he, Dan?
Yeah. Good boy,
so
Ryan.
We've got
He's
that one.
boy.
And if you really like us, click the bell.
End.
Bell end, yeah. Click the bell end. Obviously, I should have put this at the start of the show, to be fair. We do swear on here, so parental advice is recommended. So,
Excellent.
If you don't like a bit
Love
of swearing, then please turn off.
We
If
all
you
love
do like
a bit of swearing.
please join in. As what Max would probably say, nice. This was a great show, champions. Sorry, that was a crap Australian accent there.
Great show, champions.
Great show, champions. That's the one. That was terrible. I sound like Fergus doing a bloody accent. I know he's in here and he knows.
Oh, man, it weren't that bad. It weren't that bad.
Terrible. So, yeah, cheers for that, guys. It was a great show. Hopefully to see you again. See you again soon, guys.